What's going on, everybody? My name is Charles Bernard, and today I will talk about my experience doing a 72-hour fast. So, I decided to do a 72-hour fast, not because of the crazy health benefits that can occur when you go through an experience like that. And I'm not really going to talk about those benefits today because I am no expert in that field, but more so because I was coming back from the holidays and I felt like I was deviating a little bit from my goals and my routines. I was lacking a little bit of discipline and wanted to put myself through a challenge that I had never done before and something I was always curious to experiment with, which is doing a fast and seeing how my body and mind responds to not eating for 3 days. So, how I went about the fast is I only allowed myself to drink water and pink Himalayan salt in the water, as well as green tea that I had like 2 or 3 times, and black coffee that I had twice over the course of the 3 days. My starting weight was about 210 pounds, and I went down to like 202.4 pounds. So it wasn't that much of a drastic like drop in weight, mostly because I drank a lot of water. I had about a gallon of water every day. So I did not, I'm assuming I did not lose crazy amounts of water in my body. I did definitely shed some fat, and I'm kind of happy with the results. So let me run you through the overall experience and how I was feeling on each day. So I started on Sunday night on January 5th. So we had our last meal on that day at about 8 p.m. And then I stopped eating until about 9 p.m. on Wednesday, the 8th. So Wednesday, January 8th. And then I had a meal there. So how everything went, the first day, obviously, it's kind of normal in the beginning, right? You stop eating on Sunday night, you go to bed like every other day, and then you wake up. So waking up and kind of fasting in the morning, that was pretty normal. I went through a regular workout. I was working. Everything was going fine up until about midday, where I was kind of getting hungry. This would usually be something that, like, I usually do that. I don't really eat as soon as I wake up. I kind of tend to wait until I'm hungry. So this was pretty regular for me. But then at about midday mark, I was starting to be hungry. And this is where I really started feeling the effects of the fast. So it started with like a general kind of dizziness. It was pretty light over the course of the first day. But as the day went on, I could feel myself kind of losing a little bit of energy and feeling a little bit more lightheaded, not able to focus on different things at the same time. I definitely have a little bit of ADHD, and I'm always my brain's going everywhere. I'm trying to multitask all the time, and it's not necessarily a good thing. So I kind of like that effect of being able to focus on one thing at a time and not being able to be like spreading myself thin in 14 different conversations or 14 different thoughts at the same time. It kind of slowed my brain down, which was kind of an interesting and I would say good part of the experience. So then that night, went to bed, was pretty hungry. Wasn't too bad though. Like at this point, I just felt like I was just a little diminished version of myself in terms of like productivity and stuff like that. Then the second day, I woke up, and this is where it really started to be hard. Was definitely in a very weird state when I woke up on Tuesday morning. I described myself feeling like light. That could be lightheaded. That could be kind of just light, like some weight fell off my shoulders. It was as if the only thing that mattered to me was survival. My body was kind of in a survival, like in an endangered state. It felt like, and anything that wasn't relevant to my survival was completely irrelevant to me. So comparably to what some may believe, and myself included, I thought it would be a lot more irritable. I thought it would be kind of hangry, but I really was not that day at all. Um, the only energy I was expending on that day, and it got even worse, like was solely dedicated to survival, but I was working. So I had to kind of force myself at some point. But I really did feel lightheaded the whole day. Um, Felt like nothing mattered beside just me saving my energy because, like I said, it was like my body probably felt like I was dying, and so we had to we had to protect me from dying. It was an interesting day for sure, and it got really, really challenging. I felt really bad at the end of the day. I could barely like just go through my normal activities at work, but we were able to make it through. And I thought about quitting so many times, but we did come through and made it back home. Went to bed, and things went more or so all right. Um, I want to note that this lightheadedness is, I'm by no means an expert in that field, but from what I've read and from what I've heard from different sources that have gone through that experience and that know a lot more about that than me, this lightheadedness and kind of dizziness that I was experiencing, uh, might have came from like my body releasing all of my like a lot of glucose. So like your tissues store glucose all the time for your brain to use and for your muscles to use as energy. Um, but when I wasn't eating, I believe my body went like, okay, let's release all of this glucose so that we can use it to survive. But this spiked my blood sugar, and then that's probably what made me dizzy in the first place. So maybe I'm wrong, but I believe this is what happened. But then on the third day, I woke up and I felt completely different. The dizziness was gone. I felt in a very calm, kind of meditative state, but I was very like serene. I did not like fiend anything. I wasn't kind of trying to eat all the time. It's not like I was missing something. I felt kind of whole that day. I did not feel out of control. And I also did not feel like I had to save myself from dying and kind of save all my energy. So I was able to go about my day in a much more normal way than I did on Tuesday. So that was Wednesday. The last day was in a full day, but I didn't eat that day until 9 p.m. And I went about my day pretty normally. I did get a little bit irritable towards the end of the day. Obviously, I kind of knew it was about to end, and I could see myself getting a little bit more irritated than usual. But in hindsight, it really wasn't as bad as I thought in terms of how irritable I got, and in terms of how much it affected me on that day, which really means that my body adapted. And I believe once the blood sugar spiked, I was super dizzy for a day and a half. But then after that, it kind of settled down. Body realized, okay, we can probably use fat to fuel our body. And yeah, I was definitely feeling way, way better then. It makes me wonder how long I would have been able to go, because I came home that night and did not feel like I had an urge to eat. I was very calm, obviously excited to eat, but it wasn't like I was dying to eat. And then I ate, had a steak. Definitely wouldn't necessarily recommend having a steak. It was definitely a little too fat. Stomach felt a little upset, but I like steak too much to not have it after an experience like that. So I felt like I could treat myself a little bit after that. Some of the notable things that happened: my extremities felt really cold throughout the whole time. My whole body kind of felt cold on the third day. Like the whole day, I was just freezing. But it wasn't like it was really, yeah, more like the extremities, even my face. But like my body felt fine the whole time. But like my fingers and feet and toes were cold from the second day till the end. I did kind of journal my thoughts as I was going through different phases. But then on the third day, when it kind of settled in and I kind of forgot about the experience because I felt so much better, I didn't really pay any more attention than that, and wanted to be as normal uh, as possible going through my day, simply because me thinking about it all the time didn't help me at all. It just made me kind of hungrier and making it harder on myself for nothing. And like I said, the overall thing that I got out of the experience is my brain slowing down, focusing on one thing at a time, and feeling this kind of stoicism, like realizing how much energy I'm actually expending when I get mad, when I get irritated, when I put energy in places that don't matter to my survival, that don't matter in advancing myself in whatever endeavor I'm engaging in. So this is something that I'm definitely going to be mindful about now. Obviously, I'm not going to fight for having calories, or like fight, like my body's not going to feel in a endangered state. But I did not necessarily realize how much energy I was expending when I'm getting mad or things like that. But now that I had such limited supplies, I could really feel how hard it was to just be mad, or to be super negative, or to be hard on myself, or to be hard on other people for that matter. So I'm going to try to be, replicate that, being conscious of it now. Um, and definitely something that I want to change a little bit in my life. So this kind of resumes the whole experience. I didn't want to make this an hour-long video, but more so just a short summary of how I felt throughout the whole experience. For those who might want to try it, I definitely do not recommend it. Don't take my word. I am not an expert, but I just wanted to share my thoughts and kind of what happened throughout that experience before I kind of stopped talking about it and go on with my life. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.